was very passionate and intense about everything. We get to the grocery store, it's 1:30 in the morning. He grabs a cart and he looks at me and he says, "Sometimes, Michael," he said, "sometimes you just need to let go." And he ran down the aisle of the store and jumped on the back of the cart.
Words that echoed through the years of practices. Words that blossomed into music, lifting the thousands of members of the past and present Marching 110. Words that were only silenced by death. But the words of Mr. S will never die. From the moment Ronald P. Socciarelli stepped onto the Ohio University campus in 1973, a footprint was made. And even the first steps are remembered.
First time I remember seeing him was at dinner that first day of band camp. We found out he had a pretty different leadership than Tom Lee did. Not to say it was better, it was different.
Mr. Socciarelli left his job as the director of bands at Northern Illinois University to become the 11th director of the Ohio University Marching Men. But only months after his first year, Socciarelli found he was not the only catalyst for change. Thanks to Title IX, a federal anti-discrimination regulation, the marching men would not only gain their new title, the Marching 110, but they would gain some new members, women.
As long as the ladies could march and play, I was happy. And we had some really good women who set the standard for the girls that have followed, and they did a great job.
Jo Carpenter was one of the first women in the band, a decision she says was worth marching for.
We were going down the field at practice and we're just giving it all. We're driving, it's pouring rain, and we stop and he got in my face and he looks at me and he goes, "I think you really do belong in this band after all, sis."
Every practice had a purpose. To this day, the Marching 110 has never repeated a performance.
Everybody had to know how to march the way OU marched, and everybody had to learn how to dance the way OU danced, and that was it. You had to play, you had to march, you had to dance.
The thing is you respect him so much, but you were just so, you could be absolutely terrified of him. But it's just because you wanted to please him so much. That's what it was, is you just wanted to please him.
By 1976, the band was making history, becoming the first marching band to perform in New York's prestigious Carnegie Hall.
The place was packed. How they got enough OU people to New York City to that concert, I'll never know.
More than a decade later, the 110 marched, continuing its legacy as the most exciting band in the land, performing in the 200th anniversary of the U.S. Constitution Parade.
It was a big deal because Mr. Socciarelli made sure that we knew that we were the only college marching band in the country that was invited. And it was a big deal because we got to play for a president. And so at the end of the parade, we were all pleased with ourselves because we were going to be on national TV.
But little did the students know, Mr. S's time at OU was coming to an end. After leading the 110 for 17 years and watching 3 daughters graduate from Ohio University, Ron Socciarelli announced his retirement with the end of the 1989 season.
I sat on my bed and cried because I thought, there's an era that's over with.
Socciarelli returned to OU to conduct the OU alumni performance in 2003, but that would be the last time many of his band members would see him.
He never forgot a name. 25 years after I left, he came back for homecoming. He knew me by name.
On February 2nd, 2012, word spread that Mr. S had passed.
I can remember that day or two on Facebook just blowing up, and we're all in memory. You know, we started the page. Somebody started the page called "Memories of Mr. S" that still lives today.
It actually took his passing for us to realize that he was actually human.
Who treated all of us like his kids. And it hurt.
Who was the influence in your Ohio University experience? And it would just be Ronald P. Socciarelli.
Ronald Socciarelli is the theme to this year's homecoming, better than the best ever. The 110 alum will be able to pay their tribute to him this weekend during the halftime show at the Ohio University homecoming game. But Socciarelli's legacy does not end this weekend. The Socciarelli Scholarship Fund has grown to over $65,000 and will be awarded to one deserving student Saturday night. Reporting for WOUB, this is Krista Lamandola.